Welcome everyone. Dermot Dooley here in Keep the Faith, our third episode, and I'd like to welcome one of our greatest students ever come into the school, Evan Corsi, part-time student. I'm joking. I know.
Thanks.
We love to see him more now. Let's put it that way. He's a good guy. With loads of questions for him, and he's going to give us loads of answers. Hopefully, that will maybe encourage a few people out there once again to maybe look at their lives and see, how can they improve aspects of their lives with the use of prayer. That's what we're looking at here is prayer. How prayer can transform people's lives. Prayers don't go unheard. I always tell the boys in class that. So, Evan is our guest, and Evan, welcome here.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I suppose, Evan, the reason we got you in here is you're in Medjugorje. Is that right?
I was.
So, before you went to Medjugorje on with the Waterford pilgrimage, is it? Yeah.
Lismore and Waterford.
Lismore and Waterford. Yeah. So, before you went, I know your mum Denise she's a strong believer in. She's on the phone to me. There are loads of things about getting. She wanted you to go there. So, can you tell me what was your faith like before you went to Medjugorje first?
Well, my faith was there. I still believed in God, but I weren't one that'd go to mass and show that I believed in God.
Yeah.
I just didn't want it.
Yeah.
Thought it was just a waste of time, like.
Yeah.
And then that's really it. Like before Medjugorje, and then after Medjugorje, I'm actually asking people, do they want to come to mass with me? Like.
Yeah.
That's how much of a change it is.
But there's people watching this now. Hopefully, loads watch it. Especially people from Aaron's Own, Johns Park, and anyone that's in that area that knows you.
Yeah.
Well, I've never been there. I'm going next year myself. I want to go after listening to you and Luke and Callum went there.
Yeah.
So can you tell me, is there anything particular happening in Medjugorje that made you change your attitude towards?
Well,
prayer?
The first thing that made me change it is St. James Church
in Medjugorje.
Yeah. The mass is so different.
Yeah.
Like in Ireland, we go to mass and we just pray. That's it. And over in Medjugorje, when you go to mass, there's about 15 priests.
Yeah.
All standing up in the altar, and then instead of just praying, there's a priest called Father Leon.
Yeah.
And he just talks to you. He has fun with you. He makes a few jokes.
Yeah.
And then whatever priest is saying the mass says a speech. I'd say you say maybe 15-20 minutes of prayers most.
Yeah.
And a good 15 minutes for bread as well. Like so, it's mostly a speech.
Yeah.
More than prayer.
Yeah. Okay. Homily kind of such.
Yeah.
After the Gospels and that. But personally yourself, right? So there's something twist inside your belly, or your gut feeling. There's something you say. This is something different here now, and I feel. Is there? What am I trying to get at here? I suppose I'm trying to get at the fact that what was it for you personally that made you all of a sudden realize that Jesus is at work here? Because that's what I'm trying to.
Well, there was two things.
Yeah. There
was a priest over there. I can't remember his name now, but an American priest, and his saying was, "We are loved." No matter who you are, you're loved.
Yeah.
As long as you're in the light, you're loved.
Yeah.
And then the second one was, there's a person called Ivan, the visionary.
Oh yeah. Met him.
We met him, yeah.
Wow.
And we went to one of his visions, and he has a little chapel.
Yeah.
And I walked into the chapel and I just felt like a gust of wind hit me. Cold gust of wind. And it's like something just entered my body. Or something left my body, like. And from then I knew, like, it's not just walking into somewhere with cold air conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, because there was no air conditioning in the place. So I knew that it was a spirit of some sort, like.
Yeah. And just for those who are watching, Ivan is one of the kids.
Yeah.
Who in 1981 saw Our Lady appear in Medjugorje back in 1981, and he still sees her at 5:40. Is it?
Yeah, 26.
26 every day. So obviously he didn't see her, but.
No, I didn't see her. No.
Did you see his? I'm fascinated by that because he kneels down and he's looking up.
We're saying the rosary.
Yeah.
And then he's saying the rosary as well. And then close. It's not always at exactly 26.
Yeah.
It's always close to 26 though. He'd feel when Our Lady is starting to appear.
Yeah.
And he'd go up to the front of his chapel because he's at the back praying with us through a microphone.
Yeah.
Then he goes up to the front and there's just a special knee rest.
Yeah, knee rest.
So there's no seat, it's just the knee rest.
Mm.
And he starts praying, then his head slowly goes up and he slowly gets quieter and quieter. But his mouth is always moving and then he's just dead silent but his mouth is still moving. Like.
Wow. I've seen that, yeah, I've seen the other visionaries doing that as well. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah. And then obviously at the end of that then you just ask him questions and if he can answer them he does.
Did he tell you what she said to him or did he say it? No?
He doesn't say like exactly what because there was a translator.
Yeah.
Because he weren't speaking English like.
Yeah. And what was the message that day or was there a message?
The message.
Can you remember? I can't
even remember.
Yeah, but sure. Yeah, it's just. I find that fascinating.
It was just such in the moment thing, like.
Yeah, it wasn't even what I said. It was what the feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Gust of wind you felt.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And you're going to go back, will you?
I'm hoping to go back next year with Callum.
Yeah.
So.
Why? Why would you want to go back? For all those who are looking.
It's just such an experience. Even the bad things over it, like climbing the mountain. We climbed so many mountains, like.
Yeah.
And it was good experience, but it was so like it was day after day after day. It's like we weren't getting a break.
Yeah.
But even that was just so good, like because there's obviously the 14 stations of the cross.
Yeah. And
at every one we pray the rosary.
Yeah. Wow.
And before I've never once prayed the rosary before I went to Medjugorje.
Yeah.
And now I know the rosary off by heart.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah.
And you're getting Our Lady's protection, and you know it's a massive grace from Our Lady to keep an eye on you. You know, like she's the mother of us all. So yeah, we're looking to go back next year. I'm hoping to go back. I want to not go back, go for the first time because I'm jealous now. Listen to you.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And what makes it even better is everything over there so cheap.
Yeah.
So cheap.
Yeah. So you don't spend much money. You're climbing mountains, getting water into you. Can I ask you one more question?
Go on.
Just. Everyone has their little difficulties in life. You know the way we all have we all have problems, sickness in families, and health problems and financial problems, and God knows what. Everyone has something in their house. There's no family in Delasal or in Waterford or in Ireland hasn't been touched by some sort of tragedy or problems. Would you just like I think from prayer? Would you think that you'd be able to deal with problems better now, or is it easier to deal with problems now that you know that God has your back?
Well,
it's a hard question now, I know.
I feel like before I was true to my faith, there's no one I could properly pray to. Like I could pray to God, but I'm just praying to God for the sake of someone being sick or that happening, because everyone else prays when something's wrong. Yeah. But now, like when I believe more, I'm praying for a reason. I know who I'm praying to. Like it's not always God that you pray to. Like I more so pray to Mary now than I do God because of Medjugorje.
Yeah.
Because it's so big. Mary is so big over there. Like.
And she goes. She talks to God for you. Like she carries her prayers.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Like she intercedes for us. And she's like the mother of everyone. You know, that's the message, isn't it?
It is.
So look, I'm glad you came in to talk to the lads. Any other little message or anything else you want to tell them? You know, because you have lots of lads and lots of people like in your area. You're going to the bone, as they saying. You know, there's lots of fellas out there who wouldn't have that faith you have now. Is there anything you'd like to say to them, or before you finish up?
Not really. I want to say because God has a path for everyone. Whether they want to follow that path or not is up to them. Like no one can make them decide.
Yeah.
It's either darkness or lightness.
Good man.
But I want to quote me tour guide.
Go on.
Philip.
Yeah.
He's from Tala.
Yeah.
And he told us these amazing stories.
Yeah.
About everything over at Medjugorje. And there was this one young fella who went over to Medjugorje. His brother dragged him over to Medjugorje.
Yeah.
And he'd never come out of his room. Yeah. Ever. Just stuck in his room. One day he was the most popular child in school, like, and then he'd never come out of school. He never came out of his room then.
Yeah.
And his older brother and his girlfriend brought the child over to Medjugorje, and they brought him to Father Slavko.
Yeah.
And Father Slavko was obviously asking the child questions with the brother and girlfriend in the room, and he was not answering anything. And then one question, he raised his head. So then Father Slavko asked them to leave the room, the brother and girlfriend.
Yeah.
They left the room, and 5 minutes later, his brother came out, run up to him, gave him a hug.
Gee.
And now he goes outside every day. He don't even have a door now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's something changed him.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was another story about Philip,
Yeah.
my actual tour guide. So he was over there. Someone's nanny drags their grandchild over there.
Yeah.
And this child was he weren't popular, like. He was to himself.
Yeah.
And Philip seen the grandmother and asked her how he was doing, and she was like, I think he's doing worse now that he came over here.
Yeah.
And Philip was like, how? And she was like, well, he just has his headphones on, listening to music, walking up and down the driveway.
Yeah.
Not doing anything else.
Interaction, no.
No interaction,
talking.
just up and down the driveway. And Philip went to him and said, how are you doing? To the grandchild, best week of my life.
Wow.
And Philip was obviously like, why? Because no one has called me stupid for a whole week.
Wow.
And when he went back then, not one person called him stupid.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So sometimes, we don't even raise it. Someone's after, getting a little change of heart and inspired by God as well. So, no, Evan, you've done very well. And I'm glad to see you're after enjoying that trip now. And I'm glad you went. And your mother, in fairness, she was on the phone to me. She was adamant you were going. There was no way you weren't going.
Yeah, I was very adamant going myself now.
Yeah, and that's what you need, like, support. And I'm glad you came in to tell us all about, because it's going to go out now.
Deserves to listen, don't you know?
It's going to go to everyone, Del Sal, and all my friends and anyone else wants to follow this story. So thanks for Evan, and we will see you in class soon.